The fourth meaning of Kriya is death ceremony. After death, there are some ceremonies. So, yes, after death, who will do these ceremonies for you or me? You will say, those who are with us will do it. While living to do your death ceremony. While living to do your death ceremony. You will say, how? This is how intensifying your love and devotion for God, do you know, you bring death to your all ignorance. Celebrate death ceremony to the ignorance. Celebrate death ceremony for all emotions. Celebrate death ceremony to all distractions. Celebrate death ceremony to the body consciousness, death ceremony. It is I will celebrate death ceremony. It is Kriya. Even in the religious life or in different countries, different culture, they have their death ceremony. They do. Some they bury, some they burn, cremate. They do in a special way. Do you know, in the Hindu way of death ceremony is very elaborate and very difficult one. Do you know what happens? From the day one dies till the 12th day, elaborate ceremonies with the priest, lots of things to do. Do you know what happens? Sometimes people ask, why do they do this? Even if you ask most of the Hindus, they don't know. Most of the Hindus, they do it, they don't know why they do it. Look, if we live in a house for a little longer period of time, we get attachment towards the house. Even if it is a rented house, you say, I'm going to my house. Even if it's a rented house, we think it is mine. Even if you have left the house, do you know what happens? When you go by the same road, immediately the eyes go to the house. How is it? In the front, I had a nice garden. Now, how is it there? The mind goes. This body is a house. In this body house, the soul with mind lived for a long period of time. In the external house, you might have lived how many years? In the West, on an average, in USA, they change 5 houses in life. It was a statistics. On an average, 5 houses in life. They change from one house to the other house, other house to other house. They move a lot. Wherever they go, they purchase a house. They leave, they sell the house. And here in India, do you know what happens? In their life, they make one house. Lifelong saving. They try to make one house. If they cannot, they go back to their parents' house where they were born. So, in the West, they have less attachment to the house, but here we have strong attachment to the house. This body house where we have been living in this life, already we have lived how many years? 30, 40, 50, 60, whatever. We have lived already. And if we are not conscious, we are extremely attached to this house. We love it. If there is any disorder anywhere, we want to make it proper, repair. Too much attachment. After death, do you know what happens? The soul wants to enter the body again. The soul, along with astral and causal body, wants to enter the body again, but it cannot. Do you know why? He wants to enter the body again. It cannot, because even if the electricity wants to enter the bulb, but the bulb is fused, power cannot pass through. Similarly, it is like a fused bulb. So the soul, along with astral and causal body, cannot go inside. Wants to live in the house. I built this house. This is my bedroom. Do you know what happens? It is a very typical thing. You leave your gross body, you cannot enter into the gross body. Now you see, this house I made, it is my house. But now you see, everybody is telling, cleaning your room where you lived, washing it, because now who will stay in this house? Already the children are planning. My house is gone. It becomes a big shock. And when they cremate the body, do you know what happens? It is a common practice in India, among the Hindus. The eldest son would put fire on the dead body, the eldest child. So what happens? Usually in the family, the parents have more attachment towards the eldest child because the eldest child gave them parenthood first. Because of that, the first motherhood, first fatherhood, so they have so much of attachment to the eldest son. Now you think, the soul wants to enter the body, it's unable to enter. Now the eldest son whom you loved, and the same son is setting the body into fire. Oh God, my son or my enemy. Soul along with the astral and causal body observes this. Observes this. Suppose you bury this. But as we bury, this soul moves there a little bit longer because feels their body is inside. But once it is cremated, even if you're in your dislike, nothing there, body is gone. And you get dislike for your own son. Now everyday ritual. Do you know what, in the ritual what happens? A part of the ritual, when the eldest son is the major ceremony maker, and he along with the priest does everything. So when the eldest son is to take food, he prepares 2 plates of food. 1 plate on the banana leaf or some leaf, everything, whatever he will eat, the same thing. And taking it, keeping it in the outside the house, in the backyard, and praying to the father, here is your food. Gentleman, I consider you as my son, and I gave everything to you. You will eat in the house, and I am just like nobody in the house. You give me food outside the house. Why don't you give inside? Do you know why? We don't want you inside anymore. You are an outsider. We don't want you to come inside because you are a spirit. You are a ghost. Why should we bring a ghost into the house? Take food outside. That means gradually creating detachment for the departed soul.